Good morning, KLT.
Good morning, Omelette and Brothers. How are you?
Omelette and Brothers. That could be a new show name.
And Rick Coates is here.
Good morning, Mario.
Good morning. How are you guys?
Oh, fantastic.
And our friend...
Hold on. I didn't know you guys were at the Weird Al show. Why didn't anyone come say hello to me? I was pretty easy to find.
Well, you know what was interesting was we were there, we saw you, but for some reason we were in VIP and you were not.
Yeah.
I don't know how that happened. So
I don't know.
Our VIPs.
He was hanging with the people, and he was like in the middle of the crowd. I mean, it wasn't in the front row. He was in the middle of the crowd and saying hello to the people, taking pictures with the people.
And watching what I was unsure was going to be a really groovy show, and it turned out to be an extremely groovy show.
Oh, it was
and
awesome.
I must say, if I had one thought, is I got to take this guy to Vegas. Make millions.
Right.
Yeah, he was really incredible live. I didn't know how that was going to translate because his video guy and, recording process is different, and I guess the live performance. Did you bring your kids? Were they in town? Did they go?
Yeah, both my kids. My wife, whose idea it was her idea. First of all, we always like to do at least one big event, if we can, at the Cherry Festival. So this was the big thing, and we brought our kids and Susie and Mike Mills.
And you know what's funny about
Mike Mills?
I got to ask you about Mike Mills and the Edge being in town recently. But at first, I wanted to say, Mario, I mean, you don't take any you do not disguise yourself whatsoever. I guess it would be hard to disguise Mario Batali.
But what am I going to do?
No, but you've got the orange Crocs on, you got the vest, you got the hair, you got the ponytail. It's just like, there's Mario Batali. That's it.
I'm kind of a one-trick pony, fellas. That's all I got.
Even though you're so recognizable, though, and even other very recognizable, famous people, does anybody ever mistake you for someone else that's famous? Has that ever happened to you?
Well, at one point, and my sons will never forget this, we were walking somewhere in Michigan, and a woman comes up to me and says, "Aren't you Molto Mole, the famous wrestler?" I looked. I could never find a Molto Mole. I just think she saw maybe Iron Chef and has the name figured out. I could never figure it out.
That could be a plan B for you, Mario Batali, the wrestler. Mario, how are people when they see you around and stuff and they approach you? Everybody's pretty cool, I would guess, right?
Michigan is a completely cool place. Everyone understands that you're here, you're having a good time. If they're excited and friendly, they come up and say you. Sometimes they're excited and they're nervous, so it works out well. And if it looks like I'm having a very intense moment with my family, everyone kind of backs away and just kind of lets that happen. It's never a problem up here. And as I've always said, it takes you 20 years to build a brand and 3 days to mess it up if you're going to be really rude. So if you're not going to be nice to people, you should stay home.
That's the thing is that I've known you for years. You're extremely nice. You're very charitable. And I'm curious to know, because I see on the Twitter and on Facebook, like with every celebrity, you have to deal with the haters. I think the people that are jealous and that. And there was some...
Don't focus on that.
Well, no, but I'm just curious, how you handle it real well. But does it get to you sometimes when you think that there's some jerk out there that doesn't know anything about you and then they tweet something, how do you handle it?
Sometimes I enjoy it because a little battle of wits is often kind of a good, fun time. But at the end of the day, what it really comes down to is if whoever's tweeting me the angry stuff eventually comes out of their mom's basement, they're going to
Hey, Mario, tell me about... we know that you're friends with REM, and Mike Mills has been in town with you, and you've been hosting him. And The Edge, they're on tour. He took a day off before Chicago. They had a show.
Well, they had... The way their tour goes is they go 2 days on, 2 days off, 2 days on, 2 days off. And the last show was only 1 day. So Edge and his whole family came up after the last show on the 30th. And then there was another show. On the 29th was the last show. Then the next show was the first, and then they were done. So they came up on the 30th in the morning. Then we all went down to watch the show and Edge perform. Then we came back up here for a couple of days, and they just left day before yesterday.
What does he think of all this? I mean, he's from Ireland, obviously, and I don't know where he lives now, but what was his impression of Northern Michigan?
I would say that we have a longtime fan. He loved the place. He loved the food. He loved everything about it. He loved the lake. He loved listening to you guys on the radio in the morning when we were going to play golf.
Oh, no.
Him, his wife, and his son, Levi, they were so delightfully happy here. This is for them exotic travel.
Yeah.
I want to ask about did he wear a stocking hat?
Either that or a baseball hat.
Okay.
I think the stocking hat is now reserved for performances only.
Okay.
This had to have been the
baseball hat on.
This had to have been the funniest moment. I saw there where somebody had apologized or whatever for slowing you down playing putt-putt golf at the Navy Pier in Chicago, and you said that, hey, no worries, that you were playing putt-putt golf with the Edge and his family and Bono and his kids.
What?
Right. Well, Bono wasn't there. It was just Bono's two boys, John and Eli, and they weren't real golfers. And it just took us a little while, so we had a really good time. It was after we got there. There was like a 3-hour window where the band had to go do their sound check, and we just went into Chicago. So we went to Italy, and we went to the Navy Pier and played putt-putt and went on a couple of rides, and then we went back and saw the show.
Mario, I got a brilliant idea, I think, for you. You have this great celebrity golf outing that you do in the New York area each year. I guess that it's in the spring now. But I'm thinking now with the Edge that just came into town, I don't know if Mike Mills is still with you, but maybe you can run this by him. I think you ought to have the Mario Batali Music Festival here in northern Michigan with all of your music friends.
You know, I love that idea, and it's the same kind of idea when people say, why don't you open a little bit here? And at the end of the day, when your friends come to chill out, the idea that they don't have to do anything, it makes a very compelling case for them to come back.
Right. And Mario, we think of you as like just a regular guy, and I'm sure they are too, these big celebrities that you're friends with. And, you know, at the end of the day, they're probably just like regular things. But again, their lives are, you know, Chicago and going to Dallas and Los Angeles and New York City and stuff like that. Do they really relish the time in like kind of kicking back and up here? You know, like what do they enjoy the life that they don't have when they go ahead?
So it's for them. They travel around. They have assistants. They have jets. They have people in limos. Everyone's around. All the stuff. And for them, that's good because it's efficient. It gets their work done. They get to relax a little bit while they're under the constant stress of performing. When they're up here, they're totally like the person next door. They love going and getting a cherry brat. They love, like Mike Mills had a pastrami. So we had lunch yesterday after we played golf yesterday with Carter over at Lock and Heath.
Nice.
And when we were done, we came back and I said, Millsy, I got to show you one of my favorite restaurants in Traverse City. We went to Frenchie's. Millsy said, this is without a doubt the greatest pastrami sandwich he'd ever had in his life.
Ah, see? That's so
they
nice.
appreciate the local stuff, and for them it's exotic, and it's as luxurious as the fanciest caviar and champagne in the most expensive locale. This is just as good, just as pure, just as magnificent, just as much an expression of the local flavor as you could ever find. And that's why it's so great. That's why I spend so much time here.
And Mario, listen, I wanted to ask you a little bit about food because I was earlier today in the show, and it was inspired by my trip to one of the health grocery stores yesterday. And I was like, you know, I should go and have a healthy sandwich where the chickens weren't pumped with all this stuff. And I was just gotten to thinking, and I thought I'd bring it up on the air, and especially since you were coming on the show, just like a little, like, I don't know, maybe it's a sign of getting a little older, but I'm starting to wonder, like, where our food is coming from and what we're doing to it. And sometimes, you know, the chain restaurants are trying to make the bottom line grow a little more for their investors and stuff. And they're trying to, you know, make the chickens a little larger, make the turkeys a little larger, inject it with this. And, you know, there's the talk of GMOs in the news, and some countries ban this stuff and we allow it. And I don't know what the real question here is, but do you ever
I think the question is there a way that we can improve our health by making good decisions when we're shopping and thinking about what we're actually going to put inside of ourselves?
The chickens are huge, the breast meat, and then you got you look at the organic one right next to it, and it's very small, and you kind of want to, but it's twice as expensive. But that's exactly the question. Making better choices when we're purchasing our food, whether it's a steak or a piece of chicken or some vegetables that, you know, there's pesticide. Is that really a concern? Do you think it's cancer causing, or do you think it's just? I
think the research is still out. I can guarantee you that eating pesticides will probably do exactly what it does to pests. So if you can avoid that at best cost, you can.
Right.
But particularly in the summer, in an area like Traverse City, there are farmers markets every day. And the best way to guarantee that you're getting something remarkable, nutritious, delicious, and probably good for the planet is to support small farmers. Go out there and find what they have. It will cost a little bit more, so you can't buy everything all the time there.
Right.
But the stuff that you know that you're going to taste the difference. Like right now, it's the end of strawberry season. You go out and you buy a local strawberry, and it is the reason strawberries are popular, because they're so explosively delicious. But it's also Swiss chard and garlic scapes and and there's ramps still around, and there's all kinds of beautiful greens and sugar snap peas popping up. If you allow your diet to change annually throughout the months as the seasons go through, by whatever's around, you're always going to be in much better shape. And it doesn't have to be the most expensive chicken, but just find a chicken that looks like it hasn't been treated with hormones and antibiotics. If you can find that, then you're already in a better spot.
Buy what's in season. Buy what's plentiful out there.
Exactly. And what the farmers are bringing. If you know the name of the person that grew your food, you're 80% better than anybody else.
Nice.
Yeah. Mario, you've been now a long-time ambassador to the state of Michigan, and most recently in People magazine, a nice little plug that you gave us again, and that's so cool.
Well, it's really nice. I ran into a couple guys at the Northport Farmers Market last Friday, and they pulled up and they were driving out. They'd already done their shopping. They said, Batali, you got to stop talking about this place. There's too many people coming up here. And I said, but if you think about it, guys, if what you're telling me is you'd rather take $20 out of every merchant's pocket that's in this farmer's market right now, you just let me know and I'll stop talking about it.
No, Mario. Listen, the growth is a good thing. I mean, our economy is stimulated right now, and they need it. From the smallest shop downtown to the grocery store, and the guy that parks a car or does the lawn. I mean, my friend and I were standing downtown right before the air show and looking around, just hundreds of thousands of people downtown, and I'm like, you know what? I don't care who's complaining about this. This is good for our town, and there's no doubt about it. If you're not growing, you're dying.
Yeah, and yesterday, Mario, I mean, like you said, you went and played Lock and Heath, and it was a Monday, and you went to Frenchie's, and we were downtown right around that same time. I parked near Frenchie's to go to the Cherry Festival, and it wasn't very crowded last night. Yesterday afternoon.
Parking?
Yeah.
Parking was easy. When we went to Weird Al, I was surprised. We parked literally 3 blocks away. I mean, it was bustling. But it wasn't like, I had always thought, and it's because we're way up here in Northport, we think, oh, God, we're not going all the way down there to that crowd. It was very comfortable. It was busy, but it wasn't like, oh, my God, I can't take this anymore. It was really, really well managed. I was very happy.
Mario, do you take the boat from up there and cruise into Traverse City? Do you ever come that way?
My boat is really more of a dinghy, so we just kind of float around and fish. I don't think we're ready for the big cruise down to the big city, but some people do, and I like it. I mean, I saw Tim Allen the other day, and he looked like he was getting ready to go on his big boat and have a nice little trip down to town, and it's something I would recommend if you could, but my boat wouldn't make it all the way there. But.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was going to say real quick, what about, we've been talking about all of these other people all of your friends that have been in visiting, you have lots of family that come in too, but what about work, Mario? I mean, I know you're relaxing, but you work all the time. You got a new book coming out, a movie? What's going on?
I'm working on a book and 2 TV shows, and the shoe takes a little bit of my time. We're opening a brand new restaurant at the Maritime Hotel in October this year. So final construction stuff is going back and forth on the internet every day. But the menu's already been figured. The chef and the pastry chef and the general manager have been hired. So all of my stuff right now is I focus my whole year on making sure that I get at least 60 days in a row up here in northern Michigan. And I'm happy to say it's going to be 64 this year.
But Mario, with Italy and the upcoming book and the TV show and all the other things you have going on, do you have to check in each day with your go-to person and make a quick decision and then get back to your relaxation, or is it?
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, last week I was going to the U2 show, so I got to have a couple of quick meetings with the entire staff of Italy and Chicago. In a couple of weeks, I'm going to fly out to Toronto and come back in the same day to approve final construction plans. There's little things that kind of get in the way of my complete leisure, but I like what I do, so it's really not a problem.
And you're zipping down to Grand Rapids for the LPGA to do something with good people from Meyer.
That's right. That's in 3 Fridays. I'm going down and doing a big event. We have Gail Simmons from Top Chef and I are doing a couple of demos, and they're going to have the whole LPGA thing going on there. I'm going to try to sneak in 9 holes between the tournament and my demo and see what happens.
Yeah, because I stalk Mario. Also, you're doing something with the writer of Mad Men who's coming to town.
Yes, I'm doing something with Doug Stanton. I'll also be at the event on Thursday night. Harlan Coben's coming to town to do something with the writers series that Doug Stanton runs, and it's a fascinating thing. And if you've ever read many of his books, you should come check it out. Susie and I are going to be there right up as close as we can get to the front, maybe the 10th row like we did over at Weird Al.
Yeah, well, Thursday, we're, because you're busy taking him golfing, we had to go and reach out to we've now appointed a sous chef, because you're our chef, the show chef, but we have a sous chef, Roger Earl, the drummer from Foghat's, coming in to cook for Carter and Amy on Thursday morning while you're out golfing.
I love that. I love Foghat. I think his YouTube stuff is really smart and really funny. He seems like a really great guy.
Awesome.
Mario Batali, everyone. Let's let him get back to his vacation. And one more question, Mario. What are you looking forward to recreationally later this summer?
I'm going to play a lot of golf, and I'm going to do a little bit of lake trout fishing. As far as I'm concerned, that's all I need to do.
Beautiful. And
right.
can you tell us quickly how to cook a trout the way that you like it?
I like to just dress it with a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. Gut it. Where the guts were, I put a little bit of fresh sprigs of thyme and the slices of lemon. I barbecue it on the hottest heat possible for about 6 minutes aside. Let it rest for 10 minutes, and then serve it with tortillas and make tacos.
He's the best. Mario Batali, everyone. Enjoy your summer, Mario. We're crazy about you.
Great to talk to you, boys. Always a luxury to be on KLT.
Nice. Awesome.
Thanks so much, Mario.
Bye-bye. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.